All right, so here's our garden tour. I'm the cameraman, Ben, and this is we're doing a 2x tour guide and go through our garden here, and we won't go too long. So let's start with our herb garden here.
We moved all the herbs out of the regular vegetable garden. They don't work well in the regular vegetable garden.
So yeah, we used to have all these herbs over with our regular vegetables. We moved it over close to the door wall so we can access it quickly, and we can see the rabbits when they come. Try to eat it.
It's easiest to reach, and it seems to work better separating them from the vegetables.
So what do we have here? We have rosemary.
Yep.
A rosemary pot. We've got some parsley.
And then cinnamon basil is growing in the middle.
We got some basil there.
The dill's just coming up.
And little sprigs of dill coming up, if you can see over there.
They'll be big in a few weeks.
And the girls planted some flowers here to make it look pretty. Here's our stone path.
This is to keep kids from walking in the garden. The secret is kids walk on paths. If you make a path, kids walk on it. And we moved the pickles to an eastern exposure this year.
So we got some beautiful pickles coming up.
Well, I learned a lesson though. Because the morning sun is so hot here, when I planted my seedlings, it burned the stems. So they took a little while to get going, and I have some new seedlings started to take over from these guys because I have a...
Oh yeah, you can see it's kind of like all withered, but it's looking very healthy. Look at that.
This one is beautiful. This one's looking good. A lot of male flowers, not a lot of female flowers, so they're still adjusting.
So here's the girls' little potting plant. They're looking good.
These are our new pickles. I'm germinating them here so the slugs don't eat them while they're babies.
They look delicious.
So, and
we have some beans here, and some carrots.
Yep, and I think Abby has some radishes in here. They may come up eventually.
What's down there?
This is Susanna's. She planted a tomatillo plant. It's purple. I'm sure that's why she planted it. She loves bright colored things.
I see some carrots and
some radishes.
Radishes.
And then Elena planted about 50 beans and one plant came up. And she dug it up the other day and we had to replant it. So we'll see if it actually survives.
So moving over here, here's our actual garden.
There's the main garden.
Our main garden. Well, let's do the stuff on the side here first.
Well, you want to show the poor raspberries?
Yeah, we'll get to the raspberries. First, this is on the side here. We've got 2 blueberry bushes growing.
Start of a blueberry patch.
And we are excited about this. For the very first time, we have real blueberries growing.
This is their 3rd year. And blueberries are finicky, so we've had to really adjust the soil with a lot of acid, a lot of pine needles from our pine tree.
No blueberries on this one. Our rose bush is looking pretty sad. It's got...
I got to give it a good neem oil spraying to get rid of the caterpillars.
And we have a big raspberry patch, and we have a very sad story.
This year.
So we got rabbit manure, and I thought, well, rabbit manure is cold. I can just dump it anywhere. So I threw a little bunch there, and I threw a little bunch right there, and you can see what happened.
Yeah, the plants did not appreciate the rabbit manure, it turns out.
What's really sad is you can see all those beautiful raspberries. This one was ready to go, and it died. So...
well, thankfully raspberries grow from our root patch, and the root patch is still there. So
our raspberry patch is still thriving.
We'll get more.
And we got a bunch of raspberries coming. You can see them.
We moved some into this bare patch over here, and next year that should fill in.
Yep. So then we got our trees. This is our little orchard.
Now, I think in retrospect we shouldn't have bothered trying to plant fruit trees. I
No.
don't think we have enough space.
They've been difficult. Now this is our sweet cherry.
One of our few sweet cherries left.
And that's about the only cherry on the whole tree. And it looks like it's ripe, but it's not. It's a sweet cherry, so we pick it when it's really dark, like almost like a purple color.
We had a whole bunch, but most of them did this. Oops, you can't even see it.
That's really sad.
Here's some more up here where they shriveled up and got moldy right as they were green, and I really am not quite sure why they did that.
That's very sad.
I have to read up on what happened.
There we go, our one cherry.
And this cherry tree's got a different problem. This one seems to have fire blight.
So this is our tart cherry.
This one, it'll look healthy, and then all of a sudden, it'll look like it got hit by a red-hot poker. And I noticed there's a cherry tree down the street doing exactly the same thing, and that's why I'm suspecting fire blight.
Now this one has a few little cherries on it, but not...
We lost about 2/3 of the crop.
Not very many.
We had the same issue with the cherries mildewing while they were green.
Oh, that's really sad too.
Yeah.
We've had some difficult time with our fruit trees.
Fruit trees are a lot tougher to raise than vegetables.
You see all these moldy, dead...
So we just keep saying, well, we'll learn some more, and next year we'll try again.
Got to do some pruning. And what do we have over here? This is our apple tree. It's Macintosh, right?
I have a suspicion we tried to put... No, it's Golden Delicious.
Oh, Golden Delicious.
I think we tried to put too many fruit trees into too small of a space. Even though they're technically dwarf trees, they needed more space than we gave them.
So this is the only tree that seems to be doing fairly well.
Even it has some leaf curler.
It's having some curls. Now we have 2 peach trees. They're both peach contenders, and they're both having trouble. So all of our fruit trees are having some trouble.
We have yet to get a good crop of fruit.
And this one we've pruned down to the point where it's very open. It's also very tall.
That's our oldest one.
Yeah. So we don't want to lose our cherries. We don't want to lose our peaches. But
you know what? If we lose them, I think we'll say, well, we're going to plant more garden back here.
I really think that apple's the way to go. We've never gotten a peach off this yet. Although there's a
there's
a bunch of
doing the thing where they're leaking sap and falling.
So the
off
peaches look like they're going to grow a whole bunch, and then they just don't. Do you see a peach around?
No, the squirrels have gotten a few that we had.
Squirrels like our peach tree.
So, anyway.
So here's our garden proper here.
These are tatsoi greens, and again, because we used leaf mulch, it seems like we have a trouble with slugs seem to hide out in the leaf mulch, and they eat up the seedlings, so we have to get things bigger before I plant them. We had about 6 to 10 inches of leaf mulch, but like it's done every year, by July it vanishes, so we are always in desperate need of more mulch. This tatsoi green is bigger, but as you can see, it's
tatsois
chewed up.
grow to be huge,
And
huge,
neem
huge.
oil does not seem to deter the slugs at all, by the way.
Salt.
I did put diatomaceous earth around them. I
Yep.
don't want to put salt, that'll kill
That
them.
would kill the plant.
Yeah, and so we have eggplant. This is a Japanese eggplant, so it grows long, skinny eggplants.
Now we had some of this eggplant eaten up, didn't it?
Yeah, we had another one here and the rabbit ate it, so this is
That's
why
why it's all
now has
caged up.
chicken wire around it.
We've got a pesky rabbit comes
And
into our
this
garden.
is a big surprise. I planted Malabar spinach seeds about 6 weeks ago, and
Now that-
I thought it was a goner. Nothing came up.
Now the Malabar came in from the Papa Pepper, the Abundant Harvest Homestead, so
Yeah.
we're
so-
hoping to get an abundant harvest of Malabar spinach here.
Well, and it's not anywhere near where I planted it. I planted it in 4 patches, 4 here, 4 here, and it's coming up all over the place. So I'm guessing that the rain or something must have washed it around. But I've never seen this plant before, and I looked it up, and this is definitely Malabar spinach growing here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in this small space. That's a lot of Malabar spinach
That's
in a
gonna be
small
nice.
space. I probably will have to thin some of it out. It's probably going to be too big for the spot. But
Well,
I'm not
good.
going to do that until I see what survives.
Well, good. So what do we have over the other side here?
These are beets.
We got our beets
I only
growing.
planted a small patch because I'm the only one that likes them.
I do not like beets. It's one of the few
Again,
veggies I'm not fond of.
these are all turnips. These are a special turnip. They're a Japanese turnip. It's a heritage seed from Baker Creek, and I can't remember what it's called. It's called I can't remember. It's a Japanese name. They're small white beets, though. They don't have, or turnips. They don't have the usual purple top.
I think it's the one like right out of Super Mario 2. You pluck them up out of the ground.
And honestly, I planted them in a neat order here. I planted them about,
And these are all the same?
yes, I planted them 9 to a square foot
Good.
patch.
Now
I
we
am
got
not
this
sure-
moon vine that likes to come in and take over. You can even see
the
it.
seeds go everywhere, but they move all over the place.
That moon vine just wants to invade.
Now, I had an okra plant here, and it got eaten.
So we have an okra over on the other side too, don't
Yes, I planted them in 2 different spaces to see which it would like better. This one, I replanted the seeds because it got eaten early enough. I'm expecting to see the seedlings any day now.
we? Yep.
I'll try putting diatomaceous earth on those.
So here's our tomato patch here.
And you can see we have 2 different sections of garden. This section here is our older section of garden, and when I tested the soil here 2 years ago, we had no potassium, we had no nitrogen, and we had pretty much nothing in the soil.
So let me zoom out here a little bit, and you can see this is the original garden, and then we've expanded it. This part right over here, so that's all new.
So what we did here was we followed the back to Eden method of we put newspaper down over the grass, we put about 6 inches of compost, and we put a lot of rabbit manure in layers, and we also had a pretty good layer of sawdust on the top as mulch, and it's
this is-
vanishing like crazy.
So yeah, that's a sawdust right there.
Our sawdust is disappearing at a rapid rate, so we desperately, people say send help, we need send mulch.
We need mulch desperately.
So
We just
we're
had
trying
to.
to get a hold of
We just
it.
have to get it. We live in a suburban area. It's hard to get mulch unless you get them in the bags, the landscaping mulch, and
the
that's no
landscaping
good.
mulch is usually dyed, or
Yeah.
it's not suitable for gardening, so it's hard to get good mulch.
So you can see the difference between the tomatoes.
Right, this is in our old patch, and you can see the width of these are exactly the same age, these tomato plants. So this one is it's doing okay, but it's not doing terrifically.
But
And
look at
then
the other side.
we've got these.
Wham!
The stalks, to show you, they're about Little, maybe the size of my first finger.
It's huge.
The stalks are gigantic.
We're gonna have tomato trees growing.
So they're happy. And these are Rebecca Allen tomatoes. They're another heritage brand. This one here is a grape tomato because we really enjoy those in salads.
And
we've
had good success with the grape tomatoes.
And here, I'm really happy about this. I planted zucchini seeds, and nothing came up, and nothing came up, and nothing came up, and then all of a sudden today, they all,
all
seem
at once.
to have come up at once. So I'm going to either have to move zucchini or give some away. And I know some people say don't plant zucchini, people will give you plenty, but I think that only works if you live in places where people farm. So we actually don't get zucchini from anybody. And then this one here's a yellow squash. These are called Ford Hook. It's Ford Hook zucchini, Ford Hook yellow squash. These
So here's our peppers.
These are jalapenos.
They're
Now,
from Baker Creek also, right?
It means they're a jalapeno, yes. That has no spice. Some people, like my dad, says, "What's the point?" And
I know the point.
Jalapenos are delicious, but our kids won't eat them.
Yeah.
So
we
if
can
I cook
roast
with
them. You roast them. You can
if
put
I
them on
cook with them,
tacos.
the kids will say too spicy.
You can do all sorts of cool stuff with
So
them.
they taste really good, and we'll be able to.
I'm excited about that.
These are banana peppers, so these are sweet also.
Yep.
And then these are kind of exciting. These are Sugar Rush peach peppers.
And I've never tried a Sugar Rush peach pepper.
This is a heritage breed, and we got them again from Papa Pepper because he was selling the seeds, and we decided to buy them from him instead of straight from Baker Creek.
Yep. And we actually contacted him specifically. Now, is this one we bought with Steam?
Yes.
Yeah, we bought it off the Co-op Homestead website.
And my father-in-law, we gave them to him for his birthday, and he sprouted them, and they look beautiful because he grew them in his little greenhouse.
So these are steam-powered
as you can see, they're known to be early.
Oh,
and
that's
we've
great.
Got,
Look at
we've
that.
got a few forming and lots more blossoms, so these guys are looking pretty happy.
Yeah, beautiful pepper.
They turned a little yellow, but I gave them some fertilizer this week, some liquid bucky.
So this is our last section here.
We have carrots about ready to be thinned, and we have our two other okra plants that the slugs have chewed up.
These okras do not look really happy.
I think I'm going to replant these.
They might be goners.
Because you get okra pods when they're really young, is when they're delicious. I think you can plant them still for another week or so when you get okra by frost.
And then what are these last ones here? These are the...
Well, I planted several different kinds of melons. I only got one to germinate of the heritage type, and it's this one right here. It's a golden crispy melon. I tried 4 times to germinate the heritage melon because I had a hard time. I haven't found the right method for that. The others are all cantaloupes.
We're going to have a lot of melons this year
I
if
grew
this goes well.
cantaloupe because we're trellising them, and if we grow watermelons, they get too heavy for a trellis.
So when this garden is mature, if all goes well, it's going to be pretty spectacular.
We have yet to get a garden really to produce well, so if we get production out of this garden, I'll be quite pleased.
We're hoping to...
There's the beans, too.
Oh yeah, let's not forget the beans.
And we have 2 different types. We've got these over here on the right.
And we're going to trellis this up. It's going to be a...
Yeah, I got high trellis poles for these, too. Just haven't put the trellis up.
And again, we put the sawdust on this one.
Yeah. More mulch needed.
Yep.
It's disappearing really fast. But these are Chinese red noodle beans here, which I'm excited about. They are really neat. They grow about 1.5 feet long, and they're really sweet.
And the rabbit was really enjoying these.
I forgot to fence these as soon as the shoots came up, and the rabbit came in and destroyed about half my seedlings.
Pesky rabbit.
So I got the fence up and replanted, and thankfully he destroyed it early enough. Around here, if you can get seeds in the ground before the 1st of July, you pretty much are going to get a harvest of some kind. It's like beans.
So, we watch a lot of homesteading videos down south, and of course their gardens are way further along than ours. Here in Michigan, we got to basically do everything late.
We had a very cold spring, too, so we could not plant as early as we could not.
June was really cold.
We couldn't plant until the middle of June, and the frost date is May 15th. But we were still having 40-degree nights, and seedlings don't... They'll die. They'll freeze. You wouldn't think so at 40 degrees, but they don't do anything.
So that's our garden. It's pretty extensive this year. Every year we've been growing, and for us, every year we just get a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more.
And we get a little bit more experience. Like someday we may crack the code of fruit trees.
I'll be sad if we lose the fruit trees, but we can always grow something else.
Try something else, and as long as the trees are alive, there's always the opportunity that we may figure out what they need to produce. And like with the raspberries, I'm really happy that it was a fertilizer issue and wasn't fungus in the root system or something like that, which would kill the entire patch.
So I think that is the garden tour. We're at about 15 minutes, so we should probably say adios.
Yeah. Who wants to look at a little garden for 15 minutes?
I don't know. I find it interesting. All right. Well, say goodbye, Lauren.
Goodbye, Lauren.